The guest is Mr. HWheaton, and of course he's talking about coming to Tennessee State University. And of course, Mr. Wheaton, let's pick up where we left off with you arriving by train to Tennessee State University right out of Mississippi, and for the first time, real time, coming to a larger place.
Well, Dr. Haney has indicated a few moments ago, I come from the country, and of course, coming to a big city where I'd never been before, I was quite frightened about the experience that I would have in Nashville. And I remember when I got off the train at the station here in Nashville, I got a cab to the campus. In retrospect, I know now that he really was not a person who had a license to run a cab in Nashville. It was somebody who just picking up folk that he could pick up at the station and take to where he was going. So that was a bit interesting. He took me to East Dormitory at Tennessee A&I State College. And I went into the dormitory and asked the person at the desk if he could helped me to get in touch with Dr. Flowers. And Dr. Flowers, again, is the person who was responsible for me coming here. So this guy's name was Mabins. So Mabins says to me that, young man, you don't need to see Dr. Flowers. You need a room. You need to see me. So then Mabin assigned me to a room in his dormitory. So the next couple of days, I was involved in orientation and still had not had the opportunity to meet Dr. Flowers, whom I had not met. He, again, was the person who was going to give me a scholarship. So after about 2 days, my roommate was from Tennessee, West Tennessee, and he came from very poor circumstances, didn't have any money to pay his way into school. And I think his ag teacher had contacted Dr. Davis, who was going to arrange for this young man to go to college. So this boy, whose name was Spencer Davis, encouraged me to go with him over to the president's office to see how he was going to register, to have money to register. So when we got to the president's office, he was in conference. We told the secretary why we were there, and she asked us to have a seat, and that Dr. Davis would be available in a few minutes. So when a few minutes later, the door to the president's office opened and out stepped Dr. Flowers. And my roommate knew that I wanted to see Dr. Flowers, so he began to introduce me to Dr. Flowers. Dr. Flowers, this is HWheaton. He's from Mississippi, and he needs to see you. So Dr. Flowers asked me if I was a young man from Baxter down at Dr. Grantham's community. And I was so afraid, I said, yes, ma'am, loud and clear. And Dr. Flowers broke out in the biggest laugh, and he laughed about that until he died. But he told me what to do and when the scholarship would be available, and I shall always be grateful